The first day, first of all, I remember getting on the plane, and I want to say we left at like 6 in the morning. No, we left at like 4 in the morning. See, 6 in the morning is early for me now. In the mission field, that's normal. So it was like 4 in the morning. I was tired. It was dark outside. We hopped on a bus, and then we flew to Rochester. We stopped in Detroit along the way. And by the time we got to Rochester, it was already, almost the evening. And now I served in Rochester, New York, which is upstate. It's Palmyra is in this mission. The Hill Cumorah is in this mission. It's just a lot of special places in this mission. I didn't really realize how lucky I was to be going to, currently the oldest mission, where the gospel's been taught continuously. And the first thing that we do is our mission president would take us to all the sites. So the Book of Mormon publication site, the Sacred Grove, the Hill Cumorah. He would take us to some special sites, the grave site of Alvin Smith. And I just remember how surreal it was. I kind of just never thought about like the home of Joseph Smith and the origin of Joseph Smith. I think really to me he was almost like a mythical, like he was someone I believed in, kind of. Like it was almost like some story that we talked about but never actually really happened. And so to go and see, the real gravesite of Alvin Smith, and to see the real city of Palmyra where there's so many different Christian religions, and to know that all of that was real. What we read at like primary, young men's, priesthood, young women's, all of those things all really happened. The life of Joseph Smith is real. What people tell us is real, and there's more history that you don't learn about, at church that's deeper that I got to learn because I was in Palmyra, and it was really, really cool. But I remember just being exhausted and, being like, man, I don't even think this is real. And that night, we go home after seeing the sights, and my mission president, after dinner, gathered us all around, and he's like, all right, who's ready to find out which areas they're going to go to tomorrow and who their trainer's going to be? Who your trainer's going to be didn't really matter because we don't know anything about him, It could be anybody, and it wouldn't matter to us because we just didn't know him. But I remember the 4 areas you could go to if you were an elder that were open was inner city Rochester, Batavia, which was kind of out in the country, and Palmyra was one. I can't remember the other one, but it was Warsaw, which is also in the country. And I just remember thinking, like, man, I want to go inner city Rochester. That sounds like the biggest adventure. It's like the stories they were telling us about it sounded like it was pretty dangerous there. And like, I just wanted to get these cool adventure stories. Remember, my uncles had always told me about what an adventure their mission was. And that's what I wanted. More than the spiritual stuff, I wanted to say that like we got shot at or something crazy. And really, I just didn't want to go to Palmyra. That was the biggest one too. I was like, man, Palmyra is like another Utah. It's just another, the church is probably really big there, and, everyone's going to be, pretty much think that it's cute that I'm in Palmyra, and I just wasn't up for that. Well, of course, that's where my first area is. I go to Palmyra, and everyone was jealous. Everyone's like, what? Like, oh, you're so lucky. We wanted to go to Palmyra. And I faked it. I was like, oh, yeah, dude, it's so sweet. Like, I'm so glad I get to go. But deep down, that's not where I wanted to go. But I learned my first day in the field with my trainer that it's not another Utah in Palmyra, and that I didn't learn in the first day how lucky I was to go. But I did learn that it wasn't, it wasn't Mormonville there. It's not like a cute area to be in. It's real missionary work. And I think, I say another Utah. I think Utah has real missionary work too, and it's not, I don't mean to take that lightly at all. I think wherever the Lord calls us to serve, there's real miracles and real experiences waiting to happen that are precious, and not, I don't think that, if you went somewhere crazy and exotic, it would be any cooler than if you went to Utah. You're going to have the same experiences of working side by side with the Savior. And I think that's, kind of what I learned as well in Palmyra, that I was still getting the same mission experience that I wanted going to that area. So that was kind of my first day, that's what it was like, so.